2019 was the hardest year of my life. I was going through a divorce. I was trying to make it in the music industry. I had no idea what I was doing in my life. I was bouncing back and forth between Dubai and LA, chasing my dreams, but I was broke as hell. People probably thought that I had it all figured out, but I was completely lost. That same year, I lost my pops, and that's when everything really shifted for me. He left behind $100,000 life insurance policy. That was the first time in my life that ever became a thing. I never even thought about life insurance. My pops wasn't rich. He didn't have $100,000 just sitting in the bank. Yet somehow he was able to leave that money behind. And that's what really stuck with me. A few years later, when I moved back to the States, I started working in the timeshare industry, making good money. I was all over the place. I was drinking, partying, just trying to figure out who I was. I had money coming in, but I still didn't have any direction. I felt like I was really just wasting my potential. I wanted to learn about money. I wanted freedom. I just didn't know how to get there. I thought about going back to school, but my friend Tracy had told me about the life insurance industry. I didn't think much of it, but I figured I'd look into it. And while I was doing my research, I decided to get a policy on myself. I wasn't feeling great physically. And I was like, man, if something happened to me, I want to make sure my family's straight. I want to make sure that I don't leave any financial burden behind. And when I sat down with my advisor, everything changed. He explained things like how people are using it while they're alive. And I remember thinking, hold on, wait, what? Nobody had ever explained that to me before. That sent me down a whole rabbit hole. I started learning about cash value life insurance and IULs. I learned that some people use these policies for protection, to access money, tax advantages. And then I found out how the biggest banks in the world have been putting billions of dollars into this. And I remember thinking, wait, if the banks are using this stuff, the wealthy people are using this stuff, why have I never heard about it? That's when it hit me. There's a whole conversation about money that I've never been invited to. Most of us are taught to work hard, pay bills, and just really just hope everything works out for you. Once I saw that, I really couldn't unsee it. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was chasing money anymore. I felt like I was finally starting to understand how money actually worked. So I started taking it seriously. I got licensed in 2024. And by 2026, I quit my six-figure job and I went all in into the life insurance industry, not because I found some magical hack, but because I realized I spent most of my life believing that life insurance was just for dying, just like most people. And now I understand that for certain people, when structured properly, it can be a much bigger part of your conversation of how you live. That's why I talk about it so much today, or not because I think everybody needs an IUL, because they don't, but because I spent most of my life believing one thing, only to realize there was a whole conversation nobody had ever invited me into. And if you're anything like how I was, maybe nobody invited you into that conversation. If that's you, let's have that conversation.